morning students, Saira. Now today we'll revise the second part of our political science third lesson, India's defense system. In the first part we have learned children about the various defense forces of India. Now which are the different defense forces of India? Yes, the three defense forces of India are the army, the navy and the air force. So we have learnt about the army, navy and the air force, and also about the chief officials of the three forces. Okay. Now apart from these three forces, we also have some other forces which prove to be as a helping hand to these forces. Now what are those forces called as? These forces are called as the paramilitary forces. Now what is a paramilitary force? There are paramilitary forces to help the defense forces in India. They are neither completely military forces nor completely civil forces. And so they are called as paramilitary forces. Okay. Now which are now what is the main task of this paramilitary forces is to help the defense force. Which are the different paramilitary forces? Yes. We have the Border Security Force, the Coast Guard, Central Reserve Police Force and the Rapid Action Force. So these are the four paramilitary forces. Now the paramilitary force, they are responsible for the security of important locations like railway stations, oil depots, water reserves, etc. And also they play a role in management of disasters, whether natural or man-made, like for example earthquakes and floods, and also suppose if any man-made disasters when we talk about, so collapsing of a bridge or any other man-made activity which may lead to harm to life of loss and property. So accordingly, the responsibility of these paramilitary forces is to protect the international borders as well as to maintain internal security in the country, right? So then these paramilitary forces, they perform various functions. Like for example, the Border Security Force, that is the BSF, its task like creating a sense of security in the minds of people living in areas near the border, preventing smuggling, patrolling, etc. And also the Coast Guard. What is the duty of the Coast Guard? It is to protect Indian oceanic borders. The Coast Guard, it carries out the task like protecting the fishing activities or fishing occupations like the time of high tide and low tide. Okay, so they play a major role, and also preventing smuggling along the sea routes, etc. Then next we have the Central Reserve Police Force, that is CRPF. Now their duty is to maintain law and order in the country. The RAF, that is the Rapid Action Force, it performs the task of bringing people's life to normalcy by moving in quickly in incidents of threat to national security as bomb blast. Like for example, if there is a bomb blast or any terrorist attacks, at that time the people's life get disturbed. So it is the RAF, that is the Rapid Action Force. It takes further actions and tries to maintain the security within the country. Then we have the National Cadet Corps. It has been established with the purpose of instilling among students the discipline and military training. So we have this in training for the schools and colleges. We have NSS and NCC training provided to the students in the schools and colleges level. Okay. Then next we have Home Guards. Now this organization was established in the pre-independence period. Citizens can join the Home Guard and assist the defense of the country. Any citizen, man or woman between the ages of 20 to 35 years can join Home Guards. Okay. Then next we have, as we have seen the various paramilitary forces, now India also had to face severe challenges. So which are the challenges? Right from the time of independence, Pakistan and China, they have tried to threaten India's internal security, and so there was several disputes between India and Pakistan also. For example, the Kashmir issues, disputes over the border, over river water sharing, and the problem of infiltrations, etc. So all these were the severe problems which India had to face before, and presently recently this problem of Kashmir issue is solved, but still at the borders we have tensions going on. Then India has continually tried to solve these issues through discussions and negotiations. India and China are important countries in Asia. In 1962, we have had to go a war with China, and as China is trying to establish its own hegemony, that is dominance over countries that are India's neighbors, there are tensions in the Sino-Indian relations. Even presently, the tensions are still going on. So there is also dispute between India and China over their borders. India's security is not only threatened by the outside powers but also from within. So it is not the difference between external security and internal security that is important, but also you can say internally we can see religion, regionalism, then there are various rebellious movement based on ideology, race, ethnicity and economic inequality are creating instability. For example, if you connect today's present situation with the Maratha Maratha reservation which is going on, so people are fighting for that. So again that is disturbing the peace of the country. The Naxalite movement is a threat to India's internal security. Terrorism is one of the biggest challenge to India's internal security. If we remember the incidents of 26th November, it is a global problem that India is making efforts to end terrorism. Okay, and so India is trying to making efforts to stop this terrorism. Now, in the post-Cold War period, the concept of national security changed and became broader. National security means what? Not only the security of the nation but also the people living within the nation. And hence, human security is centered when we talk about national security. So, it refers to human-centric thinking. Now, in human-centric thinking, in human security, it is expected that the humans beings should be protected from all sorts of dangers and they should be given the opportunities of education, health and development. Then the concept of human security also includes the idea that there should be peaceful atmosphere, conducive atmosphere and all kind of ill effects or ill practices like you can say untouchability or poverty, superstition, illiteracy. This has to be eradicated from the country. Backwardness. Okay. So we need to proceed further for the development of the country. So all this need to be stopped. Then the challenges to human security, this is one of the biggest challenge for human security is that of terrorism. Terrorism, it targets innocent common people and it aims at creating a terror or fear in their minds so that they begin to feel insecure. And thus in order to protect human security, it is necessary to put an end to terrorism. And India is making efforts to end terrorism. Apart from these challenges, pollution is one more challenge which India had to overcome. As we are developing, so we find new industries, new technology, new factories are set up, but in turn that is affecting the pollution of the country, which leads to various further diseases. If we see the present situation, when there was so many months everything was closed down, we had seen that the rate of pollution had decreased. Okay, and there was this present disease is also the country is trying to overcome to find out some vaccine for that. So diseases like AIDS, chikungunya, swine flu, Ebola, they have presented a big challenge, and now present is the COVID-19. It is again a greatest challenge in front of the country. So protecting human beings from such disease is also considered as a factor of human security. So children, today we have learned about the three forces, and also apart from that the paramilitary forces, the work of these different forces, and also the different challenges which the country had to face in order to protect the human beings in the country. So let's do a small exercise. The dash of India is the commander-in-chief of all defense forces. So who is the commander-in-chief? The President of India is the commander-in-chief of all the defense forces. The dash has the responsibility of protecting the coastline. So who has the responsibility? Yes, the Coast Guard. The dash has been established with the purpose of instilling among students the love of discipline and military training. So what is established? That is the NCC. Okay. And next, in dash we had to go a war with China. That was in the year 1962. So you will be given options and you will have to click the correct option. That will be MCQ questions, right? The biggest challenge of human security is that of terrorism. Okay. Then next we have state whether true or false. It is necessary to end terrorism to ensure human security. So what do you say, children? Is it necessary to end terrorism? True or false? Yes, it is. So it's true. Then every nation create a strong security system for itself. Is that true? Yes, every nation creates a strong security system for its own nation. True. There are no issues of dispute between India and Pakistan. Is it correct? Are there any issues? Yes, of course there are issues. There are of dispute between India and Pakistan. So this is a false statement. Okay, so children, we have completed with the revision of all your lessons in history and political science according to your portion paper. So do well. All the best for your exam. Just off for the day. Thank you, children.